enemy. The war is within. You're warring against your body. You're warring against your body. We are told that in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, the eye, single eye, this mortality will put on immortality. The mortality is what we war against. It's the flesh. It's the lower chakras. It's the Mars. It's the Jupiter. It's the... Let me go back. When we look at our chakra system in our body, from the heart chakra down, you have the sun here. Of course, the moon is there as well. They try to put the moon up here. That's not correct. The moon is the reflection. Saturn is the crown chakra. Then you get your higher self that you're connected to. But you got to go through the heart to do it. And you got to suppress the lower chakras to do that. The lower chakra is your emotions. These are your desires, your passions, your lusts, greed. Then you got to make it past. This is the power. The sun is the power. As above, so below. There's a crown here, your crown, and then the sun is the crown too. The sun is the crown jewel of the lower chakras. Do you understand? We're divided this way between left and right. You have your left and your right, and we're divided between above and below. And we're mixing those of this house with those of this house. They can all work together in harmony. That's the goal. And what we're really taught in religions, hermetics, alchemy, astrology, what they're really teaching you, the bottom line, is this is the order they have to be in. Everything has to come under Saturn, or the crown chakra. It has to rule. But you have another head down here, and it's very emotional, and it rules the body. And this rules your desires. Fleshly, worldly. You need to make your desires of the heart. Store your treasures in heaven. They call, in the Bible, the zodiac is called Golgotha, the place of the skull. Golgotha is the place of the skull where they crucified our Lord, our ruler, the crown chakra. And if you're not being ruled by here, you're being ruled by these. You're being ruled by the body. The body is ruling you. The body is ruling the crown chakra. We're disconnected. The only way to connect is through the heart. And the heart has to come to a point that it even denies itself. But all this has to be let go. I don't know what other word to use but surrender. If I talk to you in a scientific term, it's turn these chakras off. Turn off your emotions. Turn off your desires. Turn off your power. Start starving the body. That's what fasting is. You're starving the body. These lower chakras run on what you feed the body. The consciousness is not, it's from outside of you. It's not within the body. But you connect with it through the pineal gland. But you can only get there through a pure, broken, contrite heart. Broken spirit will activate it. It's when you need help. You're at you're at the bottom. You don't have anything to let go of. It's done. You need help. You have nothing here in the lower chakras any longer to sustain you in the body. And it's the body's last attempt to cry out. It all comes under the heart. It all comes into submission. I've lost everything. I'm homeless. I'm broken. I'm hurt. Just all that trauma leads up to this. It's because truly it's about letting go. It's really that easy, but that hard. It's easier for a child because they don't have a lot to let go of. They don't have material desires, hopes, dreams, goals, relationships, connections, families, jobs, monies, investments. They don't have any of that. That's why they want to hit them younger and younger now. They immediately, Christmas is to invoke the child into the state of desire. I want that. I want that. Gimme. And then we take these things and attach them to us, and that's how we create our identity. We associate ourselves with, ooh, I have a Miss Beasley doll. I've got a Barbie. And because we do this because we're not connected here. If you were connected here, which is connected to the story above, you would know who you are, why you're here, what you're supposed to be doing, what you're not supposed to be doing. None of this would matter. None of this would matter. It's irrelevant. You would feed the body what it needs to sustain it. You would not be, there would be no need for war or anger or hate or separation, power, control. No need. That's just stuff of the body. I'm here to grow, learn, connect, love, share, bond, become. But all this is heavy, and it weighs down the heart. It weighs down the heart. The heart has to be light as a feather. To do that, it has to sever its ties with being in control, with worldly desires, passions, flesh, love, worldly things, even our relationships and our emotions. No action, reaction. Here you become the observer. You don't respond. You just observe. You contemplate. You think about it. You bring that Mars in a line with Saturn, and suddenly, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. When that chakra's like it's supposed to be, suddenly you have a Mars in Capricorn, exalted. It's funny how the planets are exalted in each other's houses, not their own. Saturn is exalted in Venus, the heart. Mercury is exalted in himself, the only one. Jupiter is exalted. Jupiter here is exalted in the moon, which is with the sun. But Mars, your emotions, your actions, as the observer, can be exalted in Capricorn. Are you starting to see? Chakras, masculine, feminine, they're split. But it's this. And everything on the television, every song on every radio station, I don't care what the words are. It's the frequency it's being broadcast in. All broadcasts are being done to keep you here. The lower the better. It's all about that base, about that base. This needs to be the foundation. The top, the higher self. You either have to learn to connect with your higher self, or you're going to have to learn to trust your higher self until the time comes. And you know, your higher self knows better. It's almost, you know, Jesus would say, not my will, but yours be done. And I get that, because I've made some really bad decisions. And when I'm in communication, expressing myself to my higher self, and like I have to, I know it knows what I think, it knows what I feel, it knows more about me than I know about me. But at the same time, I express myself to my higher self often, and I'll complain. And then I'll say, well, you know, I know you know the end game here, and you know better than I do, and I need you to make this decision for me. I need you to make this decision for me. Without my bodily, worldly, wrapped up situation input. These are your situations in life. These are your situations in the world. These are your situations in spirit. And they can be really, really good and pure and holy and what they were created to be. But when you start sending in disruptive frequencies, and you know how to destroy one frequency is to send a standing wave the other way. And they collide and destroy each other. It's fighting fire with fire. There's another way. And it's about letting go. Because this is your higher self, and this is your lower self. This one's heavy, it's burdensome. This cross is light. This cross is being ruled by the mutable cross. You have to become the master between the two. And you do it right here. And from the heart, you know, the heart, that's the tree of love and hate. They come from the same place. And when you love and hate, you know, your love for somebody does not impact the other person. Let me explain. You can be deeply, madly, infatuated, head over heels in love with somebody, and they don't know you exist. Your love does not affect them. Your emotional state has no effect on them whatsoever unless they are brought to that knowledge by your actions or your words. But just loving from afar, or just you have an infatuation with somebody, they don't know. And you know what? When you hate somebody, same thing. They don't feel what you feel. That love and that hate, it only makes you sick. It doesn't do anything to the person that you are captured with, whether you're projecting at them or you're trying to draw them to you. It doesn't affect them. It's a poison that only affects the individual. It's all in your mind. It's all within you. We project outwards with our actions, our deeds, and our words. And what comes out our mouth is what's in our heart. Is our heart dark? Remember, this is Venus. She has two sides. She is Libra and she is Taurus. She is earth and she is air. She is the hidden mysteries of the heavens. Wow, Libra. She's harmony and balance. She's the fixed treasures of the earth, Taurus. And you can go through all of your chakras, and when you start to identify, In my root chakra, I am Aries fire, cardinal fire. And I am Scorpio, water, passion and love, friendship, bonding. And Capricorn, Saturn, I'm exalted. You got to know here, and as they move through other constellations that belong to other planets, it's like Mars being in Venus, being in Taurus or Libra. Your emotions are now connected to your heart. You're gonna react emotionally here. Mars in Saturn's house. Mars in Jupiter's house. Think about what I'm telling you. This is you. This is us. This is how we work. If we're the 7 stars, then we're this system. And either you're under the sun or you're under Saturn. If you're under the sun, you're in the world. Saturn is the spirit. It's the consciousness. It's the higher self. Are you children of the sun? Jupiter, Mars? The moon, Jupiter, Mars? Or Saturn, Mercury, Venus? All right. Do we understand? Do we stand under? No, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to go there. It's bad timing. Everything needs to be in timing, and right now we have Mars in a very mutable place. So I even know, putting this out there, this energy can be taken either way in this duality. But it's there for those who can receive it. That's all I can do.